I'm on. It's time for the announcements, but I know you're having a hard time seeing me because I'm in my camouflage, right? Yeah. Well, here I am. Mrs. Moran's right here. Time for announcements. Just have my camo on. Whew. Make sure you guys can see me. I know we're on announcements this morning. I've got some announcements that I've got to give. This is kind of exciting. Last year, you might remember that some of our kids had their artwork featured at Benjamin's, the coffee shop downtown Franklin. And guess what? In the month of October, we have artwork from Webb that's going to be featured in Benjamin's again. That means it's going to be hanging on the wall. So you can actually go in there with your family and eat or get a drink and see your artwork displayed in public. So you'll get to see some friends' artwork. So I want to say congratulations to Sarah Kessel from Mrs. Williams' class, Elijah Cox from Miss Machino's class, Maddox Martin from Mrs. Williams' class, Lilani Palmer from Mrs. Comerford's class, Grayson Bishop from Mrs. Comerford's class, Gus Tisdale from Mrs. McGuire's class, Madison Arnold from Mrs. Bingham's class, Hudson Harris from Mrs. McGuire's class, and Kaya Evans from Mrs. Bartram's class. You will all have your artwork featured for the entire month of October at Benjamin's downtown Franklin. Now, that's right by the courthouse. So if you know where the courthouse is, it's the street. It's the East Court Street, the one on the east side of the courthouse. And that is so exciting. Their artwork's going to be on display for everybody to see. And Benjamin's is a pretty busy place. So a lot of people are going to see your artwork. That is so cool. Bucket fillers. I better clear my throat and do this quickly. Leona Mummert from Miss Lizelle. Leona offered to share her computer with a friend whose computer was broken. Thank you, Miss Leona, for sharing. To Nick Deppie from Mrs. Rector. Thank you, Nick, for being a hard worker, a kind friend, a respectful student, and a great role model of self-discipline. I just went to the green zone. That just sent me right to the green zone. Spiders practicing self-discipline. Having you in my class fills Mrs. Rector's bucket. Oh, that's exciting. To Zamian Golden from Mrs. Bingham. Zamian worked really hard to turn his afternoon around, and wow, did he bounce back. What? I was already in the green. Can you go higher than green? That's what I want to know, because I'm feeling pretty good right now. Thank you, Zamian, for bouncing back, for focusing. You are turning into a great leader. To Callie Taylor from Mrs. Honeycutt. Callie is a huge help to me each day. She knows every nook and cranny of this building and is always willing to run errands or lead a classmate around the building. I love that I can trust her. That self-discipline. Thank you, Miss Callie. And she'll go and do it, and she'll come right back. Oh, in a timely manner. Thank you, Miss Callie. And to Landon Camacho from Miss Lizelle. Landon saw Mrs. McGuire's class doing it right in the bathrooms and wanted to make sure that she knew. So, guys, I have to tell you, if you're kind of in that yellow zone or maybe the blue zone because you're just not, you're kind of sad or tired or just a little frustrated, doing something nice for someone else is one of the tools you can use to help you get back to green. Because when you fill someone else's bucket, guess what happens to yours? Fills right up, doesn't it? Woo! Well, it is Military Day during our College Go Week. Let me do these lunch boxes really quick before I forget. So, Briley Merritt, we've got a lunchbox here in the office for you. That's from, I don't know where it's from. We found it on the bus. And then this mysterious lunchbox appeared on bus 158 this morning, Miss Kelly's bus. So if you rode Miss Kelly's bus and you don't know where your lunchbox is and you carry a Spider-Man lunchbox, it's in the office. Come get it. Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to Mrs. Clendenning for a minute, and she's going to chat with us about Military Day.
Yep, it's Military Day today. So a lot of you are wearing your red, white, and blue or your camo. Mrs. Moran, are you here? I don't see you.
I'm right here. Oh, see? Just in my camouflage.
She keeps disappearing with her camo on. Well, the reason we're celebrating military today is two things. First of all, we're so proud of people who serve in the military. We have some people right here in our building like Mr. Hessman that serves in the military, and we honor them. We're very proud of them. So it's an honor to be in the military, but the military can also help you pay for college. So I have a few just quickie little facts here that you should know. So the Armed Forces tuition assistance, these are some big words, but there's some things that the military, now when I say the military, do you know what we mean? The Army, the Navy, do you guys know the other ones?
Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard.
And the Coast Guard. Yep.
My dad was in the military.
Awesome.
A lot of people have parents.
And fourth graders right now are preparing for our Veterans Day program. So they're hearing a lot of those branches of the Armed Forces, I bet you.
Right. So if you chose to do that after you graduate from high school, the Army or the military will help you pay for your college. You can get up to $5,000 every year to be able to pay to go to college when you're finished being in the military, or if you're just in the military part-time, kind of like what Mr. Hessman's doing, you can get up to $5,000 a year. There's a new law that says that people that have served since 9/11 in 2001 can get up to $18,000 a year for college, or sometimes it'll pay for the whole thing if you've served at least 90 days.
I was going to say that almost pays for all of our state
for all
schools.
Of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And that reminds me of the last one. So if you're an ROTC student, so if you're going to college and you're in the ROTC, which means that you're going to college every day and you go to your classes, but then you spend some time training for military, they sometimes pay for all of your college, all of your books, all of your food, all of your classes,
the place you live when you're at college,
all of it. And I know maybe that doesn't mean a lot to you now, but believe me, someday it will. Plus, being in the military is kind of cool. I'm going to try to show you something. My son Ryan is in the Air Force, like Mr. Husband, and he sent me a video yesterday. This is him. I don't know if you can see it, but he gets to parachute out of planes. So here he goes. Watch. This is my son. Look at him go. Can you see him? That's him and his coach.
That is awesome.
They're flying through the air. If you think that doing that, traveling around the world, parachuting out of planes, learning to say, I know you can see it on announcements later. Anyway, he does land. He opens his chute.
So how many jumps has he had so far?
So far, he has had about 12.
Wow.
And he will have almost 500 by the time he finishes. He's in the Wings of Blue team, which means he travels all over the world. You know those parachute guys that jump into football stadiums and they like throw the foot? He's going to get to do that kind of thing.
Not cool.
Because he's in the Air Force. You get to do a lot of neat things. So that's our military day. Awesome. And just a couple little reminders. Sure. Oh, and teachers, if please count up real quickly how many of your students either wore camo or red, white, and blue today. And just send me a quick email and let me know how many of them participated in our dress day. Okay. And tell me how many are in your room. And then the classes with the best participation will get prizes today.
So like if 17 kids participate and you have 23 in your room, you'd want 17 out of 23.
Exactly. Just send that quick number and then we will come around at the end of the day.
That'd be a fraction.
Prizes. That is
the portion of your whole class that participated.
Yeah.
That's a fraction.
Like a percentage.
Hey, I wonder if there's anyone that's one whole. Like they have 22 kids and all 22 participated. That would be one whole.
Kindergarten has been rocking the dress days. We may have somebody in kindergarten. Look, I see our friends checking to see if they have on red, white, and blue,
camo. Hey, we're all right.
And keep looking for those hidden
and what's tomorrow?
Signs. Oh, tomorrow is Dress for Success Day.
Tomorrow's Dress for Success. So I don't know if they can see me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Did I do that
again? We did this yesterday where the picture goes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So yes, tomorrow's Dress for Success. So you can either dress up like you're going for a job interview, which would be fancy professional clothes, like
your best
a nice shirt and pants or dresses or whatever.
Making yourself
or you can dress for the career that you want to be, right? So if you want to be a doctor, you could dress like a doctor. If you want to be a teacher, you could dress like a teacher. If you want to be a fireman, you could dress like a fireman. So
you have two choices tomorrow: dress fancy or dress like the job you want to do someday. Got it?
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome and awesome. Okay, I'm going to introduce my friends. I'm going to start over here with Miss Hunter. Tell us your name and what class you're representing today.
I am Hunter Cartman and I'm in Miss David's class. I'm Justin Hahn and I'm in Mrs. David's class.
You're Justin Hahn?
Tristan.
Oh, Tristan. I thought you said your dad's name. I was like, what? It sounded like your dad's name. Sorry. I really did think you said your dad's name. I'm like, you're not Justin. Okay. Tristan. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Naomi Henry from Miss David's class. I'm Isabella Cappy from Mrs. David's class. Maya Gonzalez from Miss David's class. I'm Sam Miller from Mrs. David's class. I'm Kelly Cook from Miss David's class.
Awesome. At this time, if you'll stand and push your chair in, we'll have a moment of silence. And Tristan, would you hold the flag for us today? Here we go. You ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So tomorrow, Dress for Success, or dress as the profession that you want to be. Continue to practice your self-discipline. Any of you get challenged yesterday and had to really think about being self-disciplined and doing the right thing even when you didn't feel like it? Or did you have a pretty good day on track?
I did get hit in the neck with a dodgeball.
You did. And how did you react to that?
I cried. hurt.
Okay, but you didn't like scream at the person or, okay, that's good. Self-restraint is self-discipline because sometimes our immediate reaction is inappropriate, but when someone doesn't mean to do something, we really shouldn't like yell at them. It might hurt and they might feel bad, but we shouldn't like yell. Don't overreact to things.
A person who did it, I don't want to say their name, but they, I accidentally stepped in front of the ball and it hit me.
Oh, okay.
I didn't yell at them.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you practiced your
I
self-discipline.
just sat out and then I went back in when I felt like.
Sounds like you handled it pretty well. Thank you for that. Okay, let's do our creed. It's Wednesday, so we're going to have a Web-tastic Wednesday, right? Here we go. I am a member of the Webb family.
I take pride in myself and my school. I promise to do these things every day. I will only say positive things about myself and others. I will respect and trust others. I will insist on giving my personal best. I will discuss and listen actively. I will expect and give truth and honesty. I am glad to do my part to make Webb School a place where everybody is somebody special.
Make it a great day in the Webb. Make sure you're practicing your self-discipline and make sure you are
doing it right.
I hope you see me around the building today. I might be tricky to spot. Have a good day, spiders.